Hello and welcome StarCraft 2 viewers to another StarCraft 2 cast for the LPS Last Player Standing StarCraft 2 Open number 2. My name is Copo and today we're watching a round of 16 match between 19, our red Protoss spawning up here in the top right hand spawning position, and sixjaxDDE spawning as the blue Terran in the bottom left hand spawning position. Map is again GSL Crevasse. This is a round of 16 match, game number 1 between these two players. Winner of the best of 3 will advance to the round of 8, which I do believe would, of course, be the quarterfinals, as most round of 8s are in most tournaments. So we do see this tournament progressing along quite nicely. Again, check them out at www.lastplayerstanding.com. If you didn't find this cast from their website in the first place, then please do go along and check them out. A little bit of banter going on here about some sort of a team discussion by the looks of it. We'll see exactly what these players turn out doing. We do often see a fast expansion up to this little half base up here because it is so easy to defend, so we'll see if that's something that either of these players decide to go for. Neither player playing Zerg obviously, so that fast expansion isn't basically a necessity, but we'll see if maybe a 16 Nexus or a 16 Command Center decides it's going to go down. So again, we're just very pleased to be casting this tournament. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the quality that we've been casting, that we've been putting out. I know we're not tip-top analyzers or anything, but me and Skittles do try our best to give you guys the best of our knowledge and most of what we know, to provide some commentary along with these very, very entertaining games to watch, as they have actually been quite good for the most part. Not a lot of cheeses. Seen a lot of good macro games out of these out of this tournament, and have been quite pleased with the replays that we've received. It's definitely a big switch from casting lower league games, as these guys have a substantial bit more knowledge than say a silver league player, for obvious reasons. So you just see the minerals getting quite high for sixjaxDDE over here in the bottom left hand corner, indicating he'll likely go for some sort of a fast expansion if I was to hazard a guess. Of course not, we're going to turn the orbital command first. That would be why his minerals were getting so high. You see a gateway just finishing up for 19 here. No indication if he's taking that expansion or not. I'm sure we'll see in the near future. You see this SCV. Looks like he's going to poke up there, upstairs to the top part of his base, likely dropping a command center down there as one of his fellow brethren decides to go out and scout. There's a command center being dropped right there as the orbital command finishes up at his main base. You see the 1 racks gasless fast expand. I'm sure we'll see these two guys are taken quickly, and we'll proceed from there with that early economic advantage, as 19 has not decided to take this fast nexus. Something interesting there. We might have to see a bit of early pressure out of 19 to compensate for the fact that he did not take that early nexus. This Marine standing guard here, making sure this probe is not allowed in, to see that he indeed did early expand. See if this Marine does his job here. This probe's going to try and poke in. Going to see that Marine and probably never... Oh, second Marine comes out, and that's definitely the end of that potential scout. DC Warp Gate is being researched, as well as the Stalker being chrono boosted out for 19. We'll see if he decides to drop some more gateways, and if he does, how many. Most Protoss like to build more than one gateway, from my knowledge of StarCraft, so we'll see if he does decide to do that in the end. Warp Gate has just been started though, so SCV is going to come in here and see what he can see. The Stalker's going to do very good to dying him that, and that was highly unfortunate. Now let's see exactly what he did see. He saw that there was nothing unusual going on here, although he does, 19 does end up dropping 2 more gateways as well as a robotics facility after that SCV leaves, to deny him that scouting information. So we do see a 3-gate robo out of 19. Definitely no early expansion, which means that DDE is ahead economically. He does have his morph into an orbital command right now. We'll be able to drop those meals on both mineral patches. Bunker up front here to defend against any sort of early aggression. We don't see a 4-gate, but we do see still a very aggressive build coming out here. This probe is poking around here, maybe being able to drop a proxy pylon if he so desires, which I'm sure we'll see. There goes the pylon, perfect. It's almost like I'm psychic. Maybe I am psychic. Who knows? Gateways are finished up here. Warp Gate is well on its way. We'll see that completed, and those Warp Gates morphed in quite quickly. Stalkers are going to do what they can against these destructible rocks from a distance, just to maybe widen that ramp a bit. It is very nice for Protoss to attack with a wide open ramp. It does allow force fields to have a little bit more room to maneuver. It's easier to trap units in that sense, although it's much easier from the force field their own ramp when it's smaller. Yet it's much easier to do aggressive force fields and offensive force fields when the ramp is wider. These Marines and these Marauders are going to come up here, and they're going to try and chase these Stalkers away. In the process, they might actually come across this proxy pylon. It looks like they do. That's actually a big loss for 19. It will prevent his aggression from going a whole lot farther, unless he manages to drop another one of those, but that is a waste of 100 minerals, and there goes that second proxy pylon going down. 2 Stalkers in the middle here. We do see Warp Gate has been completed. These have been turned into warp gates, as well as a Twilight Council hitting up here. You see Blink going down on that. No DTs quite yet. Blink being the research choice of choice for today. But just in case, I mean, you never know. Terran's taking all this time to basically go mad production facilities. We see a factory going down. We see three barracks down already with concussive shell research. No stim started yet, however, and +1 infantry attack going down for DDE, who has 2 bases up and running quite nicely, although he is temporarily supply blocked. I'm sure that'll be fixed quite quickly. You see some stalkers poking around out here, trying to be a little bit annoying. Another proxy pylon going down with war pins available down here. Much nicer to use than this one, as you'd have to circumvent these rocks to get there. So we'll see if you see those war pins going down here. He does have a big stockpile of minerals with which to war pin units. This observer also out to be able to see exactly what's going on. Bunker going down on the high ground here to maybe prevent any sort of a blink up. Yeah, he does expect the blink up, and there's the observer giving vision. Blink has finished, and these stalkers do come into the base up top just to be able to pick away at some of these SCVs. SCVs trying to trap them in the corner. One Marine does get into the bunker, and the stalkers are going to snipe that down quite quickly unless the repair goes down. Repair not quite in time. Stalkers are going to blink back onto the low ground, as this is too much for them to deal, especially with these Marauders. Marauders doing heavy damage to stalkers, and they need to back out of there before they get completely annihilated. Second bunker going down up here in a defensive position. SCV might cancel that and let the pressure stopped, although I don't think this pressure is going to stop, as there's more stalkers being warped in. One bunker down here. Second bunker being constructed up here. We just see the observer still up here, and there goes the blink onto the high ground. He's going to pick off the SCV building the bunker, and he's going to try and take out this army. This Marauder heavy style is actually very good against stalkers, although he does have quite a few stalkers here. We'll see exactly how this goes. He's going to try and blink back the injured ones, trying to see exactly how this is going to go. He is doing a very nice blink control, Grandmaster level in fact. And it does look like Terran's going to be able to hold this as stalkers are forced to blink back and retreat. You see them trying to work away at these rocks a little bit to try and make it easier for Zealots and the like to maybe be warped in. Blink stalkers are going to come back up and try and take out these 3 Marauders that are still here, doing a great job at holding down this base, but it looks like they will go down as this SCV will complete this bunker. It looks like, yes, this bunker is completed. Stalker's going to go to work on that, but here comes more Marines and a Marauder coming up again. They should be able to take out the small Stalker force. They do lay the bunker on fire, letting it burn on its own, and then the repair goes down, and the Stalker's going to be forced to blink back. This observer's still here, though. DDE really needs to scan and get rid of that. That's basically all it's giving 19 vision up here. If you can just get rid of that observer, it'll be huge. You won't be able to blink up onto the high ground anymore. You see this blink coming in, but this bunker is fully loaded, and 1 SCV repairing, 3 SCVs repairing. This bunker will go down, however, there's too many stalkers there. But this stalker force, I don't think we'll be able to clean up what the Terran is left. I do believe the Terran's going to come out ahead on this one again. 19 doing some very effective harass here. I just wish DDE would get rid of this observer. It would make his life so much easier. We do see that 19 has, oh, there's a scan, and there goes the observer. Perfect. And there's a stim Marauder in the bunker and force these stalkers back. We do see 19 has expanded behind this. He hasn't research charge yet, and he hasn't added any additional production facilities, but he is dropping that expansion, which is very nice to see as he continues to pick away these rocks. He is behind in supply by quite a bit, and his DDE has had that expansion up and running for quite a while, meaning that he has had the economic advantage much longer, and has turned that into his ability to produce more units. That was a very awkward sentence. Let's not go there again. 4 stalkers destroy the destructible rocks. Their job is now completed. They're going to back up a little bit, because they do realize that they could not single-handedly take on this huge force. We just see Robotics Bay going down, as well as 2 more gateways for 19, as the scan goes down perfectly by DDE to be able to see exactly what's going on. He's very alert. We'll see 5 gateways total after those are completed, as well as the Robotics Bay. Don't believe he spotted the Robotics Bay, though. See the small Terran force moving out. A couple medevacs trying to pick off these loose stalkers. They might be able to pick off this pylon, too, if they're very alert, which they are. See if they can maybe grab the probe, too. That probe is very vital, and there goes the probe, as well as the pylon. This pylon's still over here, however, to allow some nearby warpins, although not quite as nicely placed as the other one was. This observer here will be able to watch over everything. A couple Marauders stim forward, or Marauder and Marine stim forward, trying to chase these stalkers away. Do a very good job, as well as a concussive shell, which will be able to slow those down and be able to make them easier to pick off for the high DPS Marines. Like under the low ground there to try and save those couple stalkers, as he has very little left in his base. Actually, this is hard for 19, as he did put a lot into that aggression, and it's going to be tough for him to keep that up. I mean, he lost a lot of units there. Didn't really do enough damage to make it worthwhile. He has a couple sentries out to be able to force field this small area. Like I said, it's nice to have a small ramp defensively for the Protoss, so you can just force field it to no end. Well, once this debris goes down, it will be much harder to do. First Colossus out in the field, we just see only the 1 robotics facility, so we'll only be able to produce those 1 at a time. Second one in production. You see that the Terran has spent this time to taking this time to macro up. He is dropping a 3rd command center, be able to lift that down to his 3rd base. Energy is getting quite high on this orbital command. Not this one, but this one. Could be using it, or this one, I guess. Could be using those to drop mules. Maybe he realizes he's getting a little bit mined out, doesn't want to waste those meals. Maybe he'll wait until he he drops at third base at an actual mineral patch. These Terranians are going to just turn around and go back home. Not really sure why. They could actually very easily overwhelm what the Protoss has here. Now only a couple Stalkers and a couple Colossi. Terran is going to move back and try and take this tower. As you see some macro going up by 19. It's going to try and produce some units. You see a bit of a lull in the action here. This pylon still hasn't been spotted. But 19 really needs to make some sort of a concentrated effort to get back in this game. He's going to try and drop a third base, which I do like. The idea behind anyways. He does need something to get him back in this game, because that aggression was not really worth it. And the lack of the early expansion on par with DDE did put him behind, as the aggression didn't do enough damage. So trying to take the third base approximately the same time as DDE will be landing his is actually a good decision. Hopefully he can manage to hold that. Otherwise we will see that this play might have ended poorly for 19. He does need to do something drastic to get himself back in the game, but this Terran army is just hanging out around the middle. We do have a couple of Vikings on the field now and a couple more in production to be able to take out any Colossi. You see this pylon has been spotted and will be taken out. Not that it was in a very great position in the first place. More pylons down on the low ground to be able to warp in some additional reinforcements should that base be attacked. Stim over for no apparent reason. Don't really know why he's stim there. Although I do like the nice little swishing sound that it makes when it does that. Kind of makes me happy inside. Supplies are starting to equalize now. 19 is only 17 supply behind. He is starting at currently 105. Do you see this command center has been dropped and converted into an orbital command for DDE, who is currently macroing off 3 bases. He's going to steal a little bit of supply block. He should be able to fix that quite quickly, as most players that are at this level can. One Marine gets taken out at that watchtower. Not very happy about that. I'm sure he's wondering why all his comrades abandoned him. Very, very fearsome push coming out by DDE here, though. Enough Vikings to be able to solidly take out any Colossi. I don't see really a high enough Stalker count to be able to deal with those, and not a very high Colossi count either. 19's basically trying to get back on even economic footing, and therefore hasn't been putting a lot into army, which is actually going to be a huge mistake. So you see that this Terran army is a little bit too big for 19 to deal with. I do believe he's going to try and warp in some additional Stalkers to take out any sort of Viking pressure. We do see a third Colossi on the field. So this army might be okay, but he doesn't want to engage there. He doesn't want to, he offensively blanks, and that's going to actually lose a lot of those Stalkers. These Colossi come in, they're going to be completely victimized by these Vikings as the Stalkers blink forward and are unable to take out the Vikings. Poor decision to blink up on the high ground there, I do believe, as these Colossi basically were left vulnerable. And only Stalkers could clean up anyway, and there's a GG by 19, who did a little bit of an offensive blink. I'm not a big fan of that play, and obviously it was one of the contributing factors that cost him the game. So that was game 1 between DDE and 19. Moving into game 2 right away here, and we'll see if DDE can close out the series 2-0 and advance to the round of 8, or if 19 can pull it back. He was the second place finisher in the StarCraft 2 Open number 1 for these guys. So we'll see if 19 can pull it back to a game 3, and hopefully advance himself to the quarterfinals. This has been Copel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast, and I will see you guys later.